Mnangagwa is surrounded by many snakes ready to bite him. Temba Mliswa says, Mabviravira continues to reveal things, and it's quite interesting how we are watching and seeing him, saying things that at times are not intentional. In the process of wanting to give some information, Temba Mliswa is releasing some unintended information. That's what happens when somebody becomes a loose cannon, like what we are seeing with Temba Mliswa. Tikuona mabviravira pane kuti mabviravira aya apise kwaari kuda kuti aende ari kupisa mukempi yake chaimo chaimo. Temba Mliswa is actually doing down Mnangagwa, like what I said last time, kuti Temba ari kutopisa kempi yaMnangagwa pane kuibatsira, because mukutaura zvakawandisa kuri kuitwa naTemba ari kubuditsa dzimwe information in the process. And I don't know whether he's aware of what he's doing. And unfortunately, this culture that I've always been saying, most of the times I've always been saying that Mnangagwa akaita problem one. Problem yake ndeye kuti, when he loves somebody, he loves them to the point of, as long as he knows that they support him, he loves those people to the point that even if they go wrong, he cannot rebuke them. But that's a weakness for a leader. It's a weakness for a leader. Because ukava a leader asingakwanisi kukuza vanhu vako, then you are the weakest leader. Ungaba leader ongakwanisi ukukalimela abantu bakhe, ule problem. Because leadership is all about ukukalimela abantu. Ukuthi hey guys, no, what is this? We don't go this way, we are going this way. We don't do this. We don't touch that. We don't start this until such a time. And things like that. That's leadership. Leadership is not letting a country just go, or an organization just go on a free fall, on autopilot, like what we are seeing in Zimbabwe, in the state of Zimbabwe right now. So Temba Mliswa is busy attacking General Chiwenga's wife, and she is in the military and blah blah and so on and so forth. But in the process, he's saying some things that are very sensitive. Very sensitive. He's revealing the very same things that they are every day trying to deny. When they are trying to deny that there's no factionalism. There's no war in ZANU-PF. You remember that show we did 2 days ago, I think, where Manize was on SABC, denying that there is no war in ZANU-PF. That we are in total agreement. And yet, Temba Mliswa comes and says, Mnangagwa is surrounded by many snakes that are ready to bite him. So where are these snakes? Obviously, these snakes cannot be those that are far away. They cannot be the G40. I don't think that Temba is talking about G40. I don't even think that he's talking about Chiwenga faction. He's talking about the very people that are really inside the camp of Ganand. Because we know of people that are supposed to be fired, right? We know candidates that are ready to be fired. Why are those people ready to be fired? So let me just play the video for you. You hear Mabviravira just exposing himself and exposing his boss in the process without even seeing it.
The problem that we have, which I must say to the nation, is that we also have the wife of the vice president, who is part of the intelligence of the army, which is MID, who is part of the intelligence of the army, which is MID. That being the case, she certainly has interests of her husband. We know the interests, we know how eager he is to be the president of the country. In so doing, he will serve the interest of his husband and not of the country.
What is his husband? Are you still fine upstairs? The interest of his husband? Maybe some didn't hear the part. Let me replay it.
So doing, he will serve the interest of his husband and not
just his husband
of the country. She is running a parallel structure, and it is important that the press, my expose of my passport and boarding card, which was done on social media by Ali Naka, came through her. She has been doing that. But what is also important is that the commander of MID certainly does not tolerate her. In not tolerating her, she's able to run a parallel structure. You cannot have a parallel structure from a security perspective. I had already suggested and proposed that she cannot be in office being the wife of the vice president.
But do you really need to take out all this information? Don't you think that this information is too sensitive to be posted on social media? If Temba is saying that he suggested that she be whatever, removed or what, he suggested that to who? If you suggested it to Mnangagwa, then why didn't Mnangagwa take action? Whoever is responsible should have taken action. So the fact that you suggested it and it was not taken note of and acted upon simply means that your argument was dismissed. And now you have to use social media. In the process, you are actually saying information that many people did not know. I don't know how many people knew that Mama Miniotabo is part of MID. I don't know how many people knew that. So why will you have to burn the whole house just because a snake has entered the house? This is funny. So that's why I was saying that Temba is dangerous. He's a loose cannon. He's a motor mouth. He's saying things that he's not supposed to say while he thinks that he's achieving a certain agenda.
Because already there's compromise. When people see her, they see the vice president. How do you expect them not to take instructions from her? Because if you don't take instructions from her, you are fired. Why is it taking long to retire and to carry on with charity work? This is very important, and for as long as this is not attended to, these issues will continue. There is a power structure which is being run from a security perspective. The commander, Major General Thomas Moyo, is not part of that power structure. But what can he do when there's a power structure? What can CIO do when there's a power structure? What can the police do when there's a power structure? It is important that at national security level, the president is briefed about this and measures are taken.
So in other words, Temba is admitting that General Chiwenga is still very powerful, right? Because if he's saying the police can't do anything, the CIO can't do anything because there is this big parallel structure in the military, which includes the intelligence of the military, because the intelligence is the brains of the military. So in other words, you are simply admitting that General Chiwenga is too powerful. Hausi wewe last time Temba waitaura kunyaya kuti kwanzizo ari kufurirwa nemukadzi haana kana power uyu haana kana chino. Hausi waidaro last time. And today you are coming back, you've forgotten what you said last time. Unfortunately, tinobata manzwi. Hanzi kana tichishaura batai manzwi. Isi tinobata manzwi manje ndo kubasa kwedu ikoko. Kuremember zvinhu zvakadaro. Ndiwe Temba waichema iwe waiseka uchimoka General Chiwenga uchiti kwanzi uyu ari kufurirwa nemukadzi wake. Haana kana power uyu. Hapana zvaanogona kuita ED uyu. Right? Ukati wewe because akasiya position yegeneral. Dei asina kubva paugeneral angade achine power. Hausi waidaro iwe. Today wakuchema kuti Miniotabo ane power. Today you are confessing kuti General Chiwenga still has power. Iwe usatambe military intelligence because that is the brains of the military. Remember, there's the brain and the brawn, right? So the brains is the catalyst of anything that happens in the military. Behind the planning that happens in military, which means, in other words, you're simply saying that General Vanechimuti, but in the process, he's not seeing what he's exposing Mnangagwa and his Gananda in the process because he talks too much.
This was a sabotage. Parliament has nothing to do with it. The speaker has got nothing to do with it. And we need to see the heads rolling. This managing director, Gurapira, who has been suspended, is a scapegoat. The Minister of Energy must also answer, what briefing did you get from your subordinates? The president going to Parliament, it becomes priority to the security sector, priority to the Minister of Energy in terms of state of preparedness. So I am challenging, and I'm saying he's the scapegoat. He cannot go along. He has a CEO, he has a chairman of the board, there's a permanent secretary, there's a deputy minister, there's a minister. What measures had they taken to ensure that it does not happen again?
So can you see kuti Temba ari kuramba achivesa moto. Temba ari kuramba achivesa moto because vatova vangu vanhu vaakutovesera moto foot. The Minister of Power, right? Permanent Secretary, and so on. And he's saying that that guy is a scapegoat. Of course, yes, yesterday we said it. It's just a scapegoat. Someone is hiding behind the finger by firing that guy. And Temba is confirming it. And I even asked Ndikati, but why would Mdenda be threatening when we are outside parliament? I said it yesterday. Why would Mdenda attack when we are outside parliament, yet he was facing the Minister of Energy face to face? Why didn't he ask Minister of Energy what is happening in your department? Instead of starting to threaten people that are not even there, that's not anything to do with what is happening. So it's very funny.
This is sheer sabotage. What I want to commend is that we have a president who is a guru in security. One that was meant to make everybody panic because the place became dark. Okay, but he continued with his speech for the last 10 minutes. What a warrior we have in the president. These positions are spiritual too, from a religious point of view and central.
From a dark world point of view, without religious, from a dark world point of view, varume verima avo, vana vevaroi.
Akazodzwa president, and he will never panic.
Akazodzwa nababa vake verima, tozviziva kuti akambonyepa here. Hatinambozviramba wani. Kuzodzwa kwakangosiyana kuti zvoenderana nekuti wakazodzwa kupi kwacho. Iwowo kwaakazodzwa Mnangagwa unokuziva.
But it exposes quite a lot, and action needs to be taken. The president is a kind man. For the first time, I'm saying to him, you cannot be kind to people who
Stop it.
Are pushing for your downfall. It's about time we expose. There are too many people before the ZANU-PF conference who were sitting on the fence, who were eager to get him out. But he prevailed over everything because he remains calm and so forth. But atingarere nyoka mumba president.
Why? Atingarere nyoka mumba. Many people want him out. So why were you making noises? Resolution number 1 yapasiswa nemunhu wese. Then why today are you talking about a lot of people who did not want that? So in other words, what are you trying to tell us? Those are kuti munongo vanenge vangoita the loudest noises. They don't vote there. Isai ballot paper, isai ballot secret ballot. Vanhu vavote secret tione kuti resolution yenyu inobuda here. Mumenyu muzanu-PF imomo, central committee imomo kana muzanu-PF conference. Azvibudi.
Tingarere nyoka mumba nekuti vana venyu vachatanga kurumwa vorumwa imimi mozopetsa makurumwa nenyoka idzodzi. We know who the snakes are, and some of us have stood.
Right. You see now, you see how exciting it is that while they are trying to hide behind the finger, the truth is just being said indirectly, unintentionally. Temba is thinking that he's hitting on a certain side, but in the process he's also exposing things that possibly he was not supposed to say. Saka pakaoma. Hanzi Mroi ngaende old chembere. Avapera. Hanzi wendiwe nyoka Mliswa. Ndo nyoka yacho yoyo. Iri kutodaidzira dzimwe nyoka. Hanzi, good evening, Charifa and family. Temba is mad. Tete B was gonna say, Hanzi, cherry mapa ye party yaizikanwa na Mdenda. Akauya netoch 1 aitoziva kuti ndoga anga akatotipiwa kuti vakomana vachaita zvinhu zvavo, and that's why he brought the torch iri mubhachi. Hanzi vana Temba mukombe wave kuzara. Definitely. This dude just talks absolutely nonsense. Can someone put a zip on his uncontrolled mouth? Iri kutibatsira asi mouth iyoyo because iri kutiudza zvimwe zvinhu, iri kubudisa zvimwe zvinhu zvakakosha. Hanzi pari kushaya anobata kamunhu aka here nonsense yepi yakadai iko ka voice. Hanzi he thinks he's very clever, not knowing very soon he will be thrown under the bus. Shame on you, Mr. Useless Dosia. Ndimabviravira vari kungopengawo vari kupenga vari. Hanzi uyu ndisabhuku rudziva nenge anotopenga hake. Ndo sabhuku amenoko vari kupengera vari kugungwa uko. Hanzi kana ivo vakadzi vanodanana nezvakadai saka Temba, I fail to understand them. Vanenge vachimboona mari dzimwe nguva. Hanzi he advised the president in what capacity? Thus admitting state capture of higher proportion. Exactly. State capture, because you are not a government official, you are not an MP, you are nothing, you are not even a member of ZANU-PF. Saka, on what grounds do you advise the president or whoever it was? And Mliswa is one of the most venomous parallel structures there. He talks too much. I loathe this proud, arrogant sociopath. PJ here. Right? So that's exactly the situation that we are seeing. ZANU-PF iri kungozvikanga yega nemafuta ayo, and that's what we are seeing. Ingulube ngani iyazikhanzinga la amafuta ayo, and it's very exciting because these are the last kicks of a dying horse. Keep praying, Zimbabwe. Keep believing. Don't tire. Don't give up. Freedom for Zimbabwe is coming, and our God is watching, and God remains faithful. We meet in the next show. I think that must be the last show of the day, if I'm still right. But if it's not, then you'll see 2 more coming. Otherwise, remain blessed in Shalom.